Okay, hello second year and welcome back to your third lesson on media analysis. So just to give you a little bit of a reminder, lesson 1 we did audience and purpose, lesson 2 was camera angles, and lesson 3 we're going to be looking at sound. So as usual, here is a starter task for you. So today's 3 words from the academic word list are sustain, culture and positive. So what I'd like you to do is copy these words out 3 times each on a piece of paper and then use the 3 words to make a sentence of your own. Take a picture of your starter task and add it to the box on the left hand side. And remember, the reason that we're doing this on paper is so that you can practice your handwriting and your spelling as well. Okay, so pause the video and try that now. Brilliant, okay, so we're looking at sound in today's lesson. So why is sound important in film and media? So sound can be used to add mood or atmosphere to film or television by including accents or by adding another layer of meaning to the images on the screen. So different kinds of sounds can be used to make the audience respond in a certain way to what they have seen on the screen. For example, high-pitched sounds, things like screams or squealing tyres, help to create a sense of anxiety and fear, and low-pitched sounds, things like waves or doors swinging open, can be used to create a sense of calm or mystery. Okay, so now we need to talk about something slightly technical called diegetic and non-diegetic sounds. So what are they? Well, a diegetic sound is a sound that belongs naturally with what can be seen in the picture. So for example, if you were watching a film and there was a dog in the street and you could hear the sound of the dog barking, that would be a diegetic sound because you can see the source of the sound on the screen. You can see where that noise is coming from. So a non-diegetic sound is a sound that doesn't come from anything in the picture. So those are things like musical scores, like soundtracks for a film, or voiceovers. So sounds where you cannot see where the sound is coming from. Okay, so we're going to do a quick task on diegetic and non-diegetic sounds. So on your team's assignment for today's lesson, you'll see that there's a document attached that has lots of YouTube links on it, and you can use these to help you with today's lesson because you won't be able to click the ones on the slides. So you'll need the first link on the worksheet for this task. So it's been added to your team's assignment. What you should do is watch the video and see if you can listen out for any diegetic and non-diegetic sounds. So see how many of them you can find and make a note of them on the table on the next slide. And this is what that looks like. So I want you to see if you can listen out for any diegetic sounds, sounds that come from the things that you're seeing on the screen, or any non-diegetic sounds, sounds that don't come from anything that you see on the screen, and if you find any examples of them, write them down in the table. So pause the video and try that one now. Brilliant. Moving on then to think about sound and emotions. So as we discussed earlier, sound can be important in film and TV because it can help the audience to feel the correct kind of emotion for that scene. So for example, it might help us to know that we should feel sad during a sad scene or scared during a horror scene. So again, looking at the document that's attached to your assignment, you'll see that there are 5 YouTube links to different pieces of music, and what I'd like you to do is listen to each one and then fill out the table with what kind of emotion, so what kind of feeling you think the music is trying to make you feel. Okay, so this is what the table looks like for that task. So you can listen to clips 1 through 5 and then write in what kind of emotion you think you're supposed to be feeling. So that one might take you a little minute, but pause the video and give it a go now. Well done. So as always, we're going to end by talking about your private reading project. We're getting closer to the deadline for the reading to be finished now. So remember, this is not an extension task. You have to do this reading and make the notes as part of today's lesson. If you're not sure what you should be reading or you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, please send a message to your teacher on Teams and ask for help. So you should take some time now to do some reading towards your project. Aim to do at least 20 minutes of reading or even more if you can. When you've finished your reading, you must make the notes as well, okay? That's a really important part of this task. So remember, you're making your notes on characterisation, setting, structure and theme. If you don't remember what one of those things is, again, send a message to your teacher on Teams and they'll be happy to explain it. And you may be looking at slightly different slides today, but you should still make sure that you make plenty of notes on whatever it is that you've been reading. So remember, as always, a space is being provided for you on the next slide for you to make your notes. And it looks like this. So remember, you're not only supposed to be making notes at the end of each book or story, you're supposed to be making notes every time you do a little bit of reading. Okay, so you should have more than 3 of these boxes filled out. If you're reading 3 novels, you should be making the notes as you go on reading. Okay. So do a little bit of reading and then fill out these 4 boxes with as much information as you can. And that's the end of the lesson. Well done. So remember to tag your teacher on Teams if you've got any questions about anything that we've covered today.